Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Charles, aka the Plant Bender, and today we are going to talk about probably in my opinion, the second most hated / loved / most controversial plant in the plant community behind Calatheas, and that is Alocasias. If you've walked into any big box store, you've probably seen this guy. It is an Alocasia, sometimes labeled as Amazonica, sometimes labeled as Alocasia poly. They just throw whatever names on them, but in general, it is an Alocasia. These guys are beautiful in stores, and then next thing you know, you bring them home, and then a week passes, and you have one leaf left, if that. So let's jump into our care tips. The first thing being humidity. These guys love humidity. Any type of Alocasia, whether it's a big box Alocasia or something that's a little bit more rare, like my Alocasia pink dragon here, they love humidity. All of my Alocasias live in this hutch behind me. It sits at the bare minimum, probably 65% humidity at all times. I'm gonna set this guy down. Sits there at all times. These leaves will dry out so fast. I probably will be doing a video next week about how, because I took them all out of the hutch, they're gonna be dead by next week. Who knows? They're that temperamental. But humidity, if you cannot provide at least a decent level of humidity, these will die, or you will end up with probably one leaf on your plant. And nobody wants just one leaf. Let's BFFR, nobody wants that. So humidity, if you cannot provide humidity, do not even waste your money bringing these guys home. Even if you buy it from a big box store and it's reasonably priced. The next thing is lighting. Like I said, they all live in this hutch behind me that I have lighting on at least 12 to 14 hours a day. And honestly, I don't even think it's enough because as you can see, they are stretching. Alocasias will stretch to light. I'm going to show you.
A few moments later.
Okay, don't judge me. This is my black velvet. It's winter time. If you have Alocasias, you know, usually during the winter they go dormant. You most likely are going to lose most, if not all, your leaves. So he has two leaves holding on right now, but my Alocasia black velvet, when I brought this thing home and I had it in a different place when it was getting a lot more bright light, it was shorter, more compact. They will stretch for light, or they will drop leaves if they are not getting adequate lighting. Now that they all live in this hutch, most of them are doing pretty well. I'm seeing a lot of new growth. I'm seeing, leaves holding. I'm seeing more than one leaf on, or one or two leaves on all of my Alocasias. So lighting, they love light, not bright, direct light. Very few plants like that in general, but if you can just provide a nice adequate lighting, they will look gorgeous for you, okay? And I will use this as an example. My Alocasia pink dragon. This guy, when I bought it, I think it had this bigger leaf here and this other leaf here. I think it had like 2 leaves, maybe 3. It's constantly putting out new leaves. The moment I take it out of that hutch, it drops leaves. She's a little dry.
And
I'm noticing right now. But yes, they love light. If you can give them light, the more light, the better. The downfall of Alocasias, which I think is a big problem for most plant parents, is spider mites. These guys are prone to spider mites. Spider mites, love them. If Alocasias are prone to spider mites, and honestly, the only reason I think I don't have a problem with spider mites on my Alocasias is because they live in this hutch. 100% honest, I think if I had them out in the open with the rest of my plants, they would have spider mites. But because they live in a hutch that's, closed in, things can't get to them, I do not have a spider mite issue. But I have had Alocasia, I have had Amazonicas and polys and stuff out in the open, and I had spider mites within a week. They love them, and the moment you start treating them for spider mites, they start dropping leaves. maybe it's just me, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I've noticed once they get an infestation of spider mites and you start treating them, the leaves start falling, and then you have one leaf looking at you, sad, lonely, and you're just like, and the next thing you know, it's in the trash. So I will say Alocasias can be a great beginner plant if you have the right setup for them. If you are a new plant parent, I would not recommend them being your first plant. Try some other things. Try the pothos, try some, big box philodendrons. Do not bring an alocasia home unless you can provide humidity, light, and you're ready for pest management. I am always checking, daily I check my alocasias for pests. I just assume every morning when I'm gonna wake up, there's gonna be webs over them. I just assume that. I haven't had that issue, knock on invisible wood, but I'm just ready for it to happen. So, those are my tips on alocasias. Let me know your tips on alocasias. How are yours doing? Do you even have any? Or are you like me and Calatheas where you just don't even bother bringing them into your home because they're probably gonna die? I have a prayer plant that I'm gonna be doing an update on soon that's just struggling to survive. So let me know. Thank you for tuning in, and it's the Plant Bender.